Hi everyone. In today's business world, websites are the most trending platform for everything. For a business to keep the website up and running and to give best well-secured user experience, we should do continuous monitoring as well as regular audits. I'm going to show you how we perform audits on websites, more specifically for security audits. What does it mean by auditing a website or a web app? It's just like how we take care of your vehicle for a regular tune-ups or just go to your doctor for a regular body checkups. It keeps growing and changing continuously. Not only SEO, which is search engine optimization, but also we ensure that our website is driving qualified traffic to our website. Why business owners should conduct a website audit? There are three main factors. First one is website audit ensure proper user experience for visitors. It's how quality our website is. And the second one is proper website audit help for find broken tags, which are main functionalities, navigations. The third one is the main point, ensure data protection with a proper website audit. In order to do those, what is the website audit checklist every business should follow? There are lots of ways that we can perform multiple audits, such as advanced content audit, including backlink audit, link to third parties, visitor user experience audit, UX search engine optimization audits, check Google Analytics, SEO scores, and much more. Mainly vulnerability and scanning our environment with security scans. So major consideration here is information assurance and auditing through security audits. So we do penetration testing, vulnerability scans, SSL checks, monitoring scannings, grades with respect to common vulnerabilities and exposures, which are CVEs for most of the cases. I do regular security audits of web application and website and servers as well as cloud infrastructure as a team member of cloud operation and security operation in my career life. Let's have a look how I do these testings, scannings in order to audit and mitigate to keep the product safe using some proprietary and open source tools. So Tenable is kind of security service provider, which they have a product of Nessus Professional that I'm going to use today. So we are using Nessus security scanning tool, which is purchased and hosted in one of our cloud server. It can perform multiple testing types. We have some information of the security tool, and this is their scores out of all other competitors of the security tools, and some example of the UX of their tool. So let's logging into our hosted security tool. So let's audit our Ssl website using this Nessus tool. So let's create a new scan profile. Multiple security scanning methods. Since this is for the website, I select web application test here. There are some advanced scan, basic network scans, much more. So today, since we are doing our Ssl website audit, so we choose web application test here. So there we have to configure the target. So target should be our www.ssl.lk site domain, and here we have plugins, which are the one that used to audit throughout the scan. So we can even pass a authentication if our site is using some logging, and it will log into the site behalf of us and scan inside that as well. So in settings, let's put this as IAA as the name of the scan, and I choose this WSP folder, and here I use www.ssl.lk as target. And also we can schedule and notification, and some advanced options is there, just the main settings. So once we're done with that, so we can save here. So once we going to the WSPP folder, so here at the last we have the newly created scan profile. So we go inside. So here this is the new scan profile, and we can scan configuration again if we want. Looks all good, and we can proceed the scan. Just click on that and launch. So it will take much time to scan, like 2 hours, maybe less than that. So it will check all the vulnerabilities and issues with regards to those plugins that I have showed earlier. Mainly this include OSAP 10 vulnerabilities which are in this site. So first one is injections. Injection include SQL injection, LDAP injections, all the injection types, and broken authentication session management. One is sensitive data exposure, XML external entity, broken access control, security misconfiguration such as unrestricted port openings in the site, or some security misconfiguration according to the sites. And the seventh one is cross-site scripting, which is more common, insecure deserialization. And the ninth one is using component with known vulnerabilities. And the last one is insufficient logging and monitoring. So those are the 10 OSAP scores and the compliance testings which will be using by Nessus in this scanning. So once it initiates the profile, scan profile, so here we can see the percentage of the total scanning since it is running status right now. So it will take much time, and then we can see the finalized report of the vulnerabilities. So now we are at 10% of the scan. Now we have some informational findings here and the description and solution for such. So meantime we can check the server performance as well while running this scan from the server itself for some monitoring platform. As a system administrator or system engineer, we can monitor those metrics while we are scanning this. So it might take some load to get scanned. So most probably this should be done during non-production hours, or most probably at a weekend. I'll fast forward this scan and we'll see the final results once this scan is finished. We can see the scan is completed and elapsed time is 2 hours. So I have fast forwarded into 2 hours. So now we have completed scan report. So here we can see there are some medium issues. Rest of them are informational. We can see going to this 4 issues, like we have CGI general HTML injection, so one of OSAP issue, and we have XXX comprehensive test issue, and so on. So from here also we can check each one of them by going inside that particular issue, as well as we can get the report as a PDF here, and I'm going to choose custom and choose all the options and generate report. So it might take few minutes. Okay, now we have our report. So if I open it, yeah, there we have all the scan findings. There we have 4 mediums, 34 information. So we can go through each one of them, like their descriptions, what is the potential issue and why it is saying that this is a considerable issue, and also they're mentioning the solution for the particular vulnerability or risk. The risk factor is the medium, and what are the CVEs that it encountered this problem using this plugin CVS. And here let's see one of them. It's saying the remote web server has CGI script that failed to adequately sanitize request strings with malicious JavaScript. So by leveraging this issue, an attacker may be able to cause arbitrary HTML to be executed in a user's browser within the security context of the affected site. So the remote web server may be vulnerable to iframe injection or cross-site scripting attacks. And you can see the DNS and the IP of the server, as well as the OS operating system of the hosted web platform. So in here, so there's a vulnerability of cross-site scripting into our Slate website. So that's it saying like we should follow these solutions in order to mitigate that risk. And let's go into bit below. Also it's saying the TCP port. Let's see, it's a port 80 also open in the, no, so only 443 is like HTTPS is open in the Slate site, so it's showing only this part. So this is the output of the plugin once it executed in that remote site. So it has affected into student logging and staff logging. So let's look into another. It's again a CGI generics. So there's a upgrade in this CGI XXX package. And the patch, there's a patch upgrade into this. So we can go into the login to server and check whether we have update in there and do the needful accordingly. So likewise we can go through all the issues, quite fine report instead of having much critical issues. So we don't have any criticals in here, so, and also we don't have any high issues. So only just medium and informational. So it's again CGI generic XXX, so restrict access to vulnerabilities to application. So it's again saying the same as before, so it is another potential vulnerability here. So we can go into that part and restrict some unwanted places where user can access, or else just give some patch updates and upgrade accordingly. Previously we had HTML injection. Now we have cross-site scripting attacks in below. So let's go down a bit. Yeah, here also we can see the each of the issue. They are providing us the output and the executed parameters there. Check accordingly to give the given output and check whether what is the root cause here. Yeah, there's the last medium issue is click checking. Here we can see the remote server not seen an XRAM option, the content security frame ancestors. So in Ssl site we don't have HTSS like context security policy, and the XFrame options are not enabled, and so we might able to do that once we log into the server and check whether we have enabled or not applied those settings from web server configuration. So yeah, there's solution also saying the same. So put those needed options for the XFrames and enable context security policy as mitigation for this. So rest of them, the other things are just informational, but also we need to check. So there are in some cases there are some third-party informations that we are using, so it might be cause some issues when considering the information that we have taken from outside. And if we are using some unwanted like any application information, test data, or else we are prone to some intruders to gain private information from our sites. So likewise all the informational facts and issues are categorized under informational. We can go through each and every. There's another that we have mentioned, I haven't mentioned earlier. So HSTS missing from the HTTPS server. So that's again strict transport security. That is informational because the risk factor is above mentioned as medium. So we just need to apply those changes there, and then the HSTS also will be resolved using that. So likewise we can go each and every informational schemas that they have reported us, and from the findings we can have an idea what are the risk factors and what are the potential issues that we should follow up and do the needfuls. So, and we can check each of them one by one and make sure everything we are known, and not be a possible issue if we keep that open without taking any action. So if you are fine with that, we can ignore, and there we have those reference for this issue or the finding and the plugging output. Every informational and whatever their findings have mentioned the output of that plugin once they executed it remotely. So likewise we can go through this full report and take the necessary actions to mitigate those potential issues. And we can, once we're done with those changes, and we can have another scan like maybe another weekend, and we can make sure these solutions and what we have done to that particular issue, so we can rescan and verify the changes that we have done. And so those are the main things when it comes to scan the website. Even we can provide this into the Ssl IT administrators to check whether these are potential vulnerabilities to their platforms, since they are the ones they know actually the Ssl site what are the potential issues when it considered into these 4 medium scanning findings. Their consideration is needed, so then they can take the necessary actions. So likewise normally we are performing these scans only for our domains. Our domain in the sense assume that I am working on some project, so we should do those scannings only to that domains. Otherwise, we don't have any access rights to scan someone else, or else just if they ask us to do so. Normally, we do those scans into the projects that we are maintaining. So, likewise, here we have some multiple projects that we are maintaining and developing. So once we change continuously, so we do regularly monthly scans, not even for the websites, just for some servers. There we can see multiple potential issues, and then if there are any considerations to do mitigate those, so we just look into these reports and just go through with the solutions and do the fixes, and then scan it again and verify those fixes are applied and fine with the vulnerability or potential issue, and we are out of risk factor. Likewise, so there are some other places where we check some SSL test scores and how we are with the SSLs. So being the major factor of the security is this is that those network traffics are following with public internet, so we should consider about the SSL, so it's fully secure. So let's check from this tool. This is Qualys Ssl Lab Tool server test. So let's check what is the score that we have for our Slit main site. Likewise, we can just set the host name and submit. So it will check by resolving domain names and stuff. So alright, so we can see there's a load balancer placed, or else some proxy mechanism is there. As we can see, there are multiple domains, so we can go into one of the server or a proxy endpoint. We go inside that. So yeah, now it's resolving to this IP. So now it's in 88%. So it will not take that much time, just few minutes or maybe less than a minute. Again, here also we can see a report of the findings for the SSLs, SSL certificates, and chain mechanism, and the DNS trusted CA providers, and so on. So once we completed with the test report, so we can see how is our score for the particular domain. So it's star.slit.lk. so they have taken wildcard certificate here. So we'll wait few minutes or few seconds to complete this. Alright, so you all can see we have overall rating for B. So here I can see main issue is the server supports all the deprecated versions of TLS. So now from May onwards, so we are deprecating this TLS 1.1, and we should follow up the 1.2 and higher. So it's just Internet Engineering Task Force decision to deprecate those all the TLS versions, and since there are some multiple potential issues there, so now if we still use these TLS old versions now, so they are saying that's why the overall rating is dropped to B. So there are some, so even we can set some HTST like transport strict security policies. If we enable those and remove these deprecated TLS versions, we might be able to get A+ here. So this is kind of a score that we followed usually to check whether we have configured everything correctly, even the certificates and the CA certificates, keys, some key matchings, so on. So in order to check the certificate, we can go to Ssl Checker. So there we can see whether our domain has pointed into a domain has some valid certificates. Let's check Slit site where it get purchased and what are the things that they have mentioned. All right. So here we can see our resolving IP and server type, and the certificate, it's valid for 71 days. Yeah, and we can see the CA. So it has taken from Amazon certificate manager. So alright, so since we are fine with the SSL certificates, let's go into that test report for the SSL. So here we have the configuration wise report. So what are the TLS versions that we are allowing, and what are the cipher suits that we are allowing, and signatures, and some, here we have cipher suits, and also we can see here handshake simulations, what are the available devices that we can use to browse this site. Likewise, we can check the SSL wise configurations and the audit through this scan report. So apart from the security audit and the SSL audits, like it's SSL comes under again a security audit, but I just showed some additional stuff here. So once we are fine with the Nessus scanning reports and SSL reports, so apart from that we can check and go through some optimization of the servers of the website, or some SEO scores. What are the things that we can improve in our website? So we can use this tool, which is online. We can freely available in online. So let's check what is the optimized level that we have in Ssl main site. So once we click on test site, so it will scan and give us a full optimization report of the main navigations and time to first byte. So we see that we are using CDN, content delivery network, and so on. So yeah, here we have, so it's saying it has been tested through this server region and using Chrome desktop version here. So in here we can see the performance scores for the site itself. So there are some potential downgrades. So these are fine. These are like CSS, JavaScript optimization. So those are fine, but we have to optimize images, enable compression to leverage browser caching, and so on. So it takes 216 requests to perform to view the whole site, and it says let's check why slow. Yeah, we don't have compressed components are not being used, and yeah, we have used the CDN, so it's good to use this CDN and avoid 404. Yeah, there are some good stuff, and also some thing bit to improve to gain much higher page speed and performance scores. Yeah, this comes under optimization and viewer comfortability, visitor comfortability. So let's check how we are with the search engine optimization scores. This is a tool, again, freely available in internet. So here also we can go for www.seed.lk. So here it analyzes the potential, actually the keywords, and how we are at our Google platforms indexings. So the score of the search engine optimization, where we place our site in the Google for the visitors, and so on. So another tool, we can use Google Analytics to view only for viewers, what are the unique users, who are the unique users that we have in particular day, detecting critical SEO errors. And there is a checklist we should follow up when it comes to SEO optimization. So it just checking our site and check whether we are in the optimal level of the SEO to rate in some high scores. So we'll get results from here. So it has yeah, we have scored as 59 out of 100. So there are some critical errors in it, considering the SEO factors checklist. So here we can view errors, view warnings, notices. So if we follow up with this and do the needful, we might able to get like 80 to 90 out of 100. Yeah, so those are the main things that I wanted to show you and explain it to you here. A small cover up, let's take a summary of what we have done so far. So I have scanned our slit site using this Nessus tool, and this is a purchase version, but we can take the free version for some trial couple of days, and if you're fine, so if you want, we can purchase it and host it in one of our server and just do regular checkups and scans. So once we're done with the scan, so we check the SSL reports to check whether how secured our website through SSL, and when that is also done, we check GT Matrix tool in order to get the server optimization and performance wise scans, and also we check the SEO scores and check whether we have some issues. So then we should go through this and give some recommendation to gain some high score. Alright, as an additional factor, we might have to disable if we are using a web application firewall. If needed, it's good to have a WAF enabled to get secured for intruders, but scan will fail at some point, or we might end up with notification floods. So I suggest you to disable when we doing this scan, or it's fine even if we are enable it, but as my experience, we normally disable it and perform the audit. So at some point we enable it and do, but most of the cases we disable it. So otherwise it don't trigger effectively, since it's blocking all the repetitive requests at a time. So overall, I can say the site performance and the security concerns are fine here, but we need to mitigate those medium risk factors that I have shown earlier before it gets worse, and also we need to go through performance wise changes in order to give best user experience and have good SEO ratings. Alright, so this is the end of my website audit. Hope everyone have an idea how to perform an audit and what are the factors to consider and scope of the audit and the recommendation. Thank you for watching and have a great day ahead.